good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're well today, hope you are feeling grand. And always when you're hello there. Different surroundings today. I had to relocate to another room, another guitar room, to do this demo today, as the Cove is out of action for the moment, which is very depressing to say the least. But okay, so anyway, Charvel everybody. Charvel, this is the CX291. I've wanted a Charvel since 2004. A friend of mine had a Charvel, and I had to go on it, and it was just like, I want one of them. So it's only took since 2004 for me to get one, but mostly because it's finding the right one. Like I say a lot of times with guitar buying and other sorts of kind of amp buying and pedal buying, the guitar amp, whatever it is, it has to speak to you. It has to have that connection. So when I went into a local guitar shop called Gallagher's, it's about half an hour away in Grimsby, I saw this one. Just in a rack. It was next to a couple of Squires, and I was like, oh, a Charvel. And I'm always drawn to Charvels because I love the name, and I really like Charvel as a guitar. They're really, really cool guitars. But I wanted one with 3 single coils. I don't like the humbucker and the bridge. I would never use it. So when I saw this one had 3 single coil, like lace sensor-esque kind of pickups, which you can kind of see, I was like, ooh. So I picked it up, and I was just playing it unplugged. And I was like, and the strings were knackered on it. They wouldn't stay in tune, but it was speaking to me. This guitar was speaking to me. And I was like, And I thought, well, I'll leave it for the time being. So we came back again a couple of months later, well, about a month or so later, and it was still there. And I played it again, and I was like, I might have to have this. And I said, what's the price you can do on it? And he said, well, one short at a time. So anyway, we left, and we went back the other day, last Thursday, and it was still there, and I picked it up again, and I was like, I've got to have it. It's just talking to me on that other level that amazing guitars do. That, like, you know, well, guitars that speak to you, that are amazing to you, speak. And I was like, I've got to have it. So we came to a deal, and I got it, and I absolutely love it. It's in amazing condition, apart from the jack socket needs replacing. It's a bit on the old buzzy side. Won't do it when I want to show you, which is typical. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it's an amazing condition. It needed a bit of work to it. I had to polish the frets up. They were very, very, very discoloured. And give it a bit of a setup. It was a bit higgledy-piggledy after being just sat there for a long time gathering dust, and I cleaned it up, and it's just stunning. This guitar is absolutely stunning. I will be changing the pickups, but I'll talk about that a bit more about that later on. But I will be changing pickups. But once I've changed the pickups, these ones will be going back in because I want to keep it original. I actually quite like these lace sensor pickups, which is very weird for me. I hate lace sensors normally, but these have got kind of Charvel. What are they? Charvel by Jackson. Yeah, Charvel by Jackson / Charvel kind of single coil. They're like lace sensors. I've got them absolutely sunk into the scratch plate, so they're really low output. But anyway, it doesn't have a tremolo arm, although I'm not that fussed about that. It's got a master volume, master tone, which I love. 5-way select switch, like I say, you got 3 single coils. Really extremely flat radiused board, like really, really flat. I don't know actually what the radius would be. The neck is ridiculously comfortable. The neck is absolutely amazing. And it's got the Fender headstock, which, as I heard, is called a lawsuit headstock because they had to change them. Because Fender were like, I don't think so. Because Fender at that point didn't own Jackson or Charvel. Because these guitars came out in 1989 to 1995, I think. Or was it 94? I think it was 95. That's when these guitars were out. I don't know the exact year of this one. I don't think it's the first year, but it's still got the Fender headstock. So it's got to be fairly early, and it's also got the Charvel. Somebody called it the toothpaste logo, which I'm guessing that's what's called, but that's so cool if it's called the toothpaste logo. It's got Goto machine heads, locking machine heads, which are amazing. Actually branded with Charvel as well. But yeah, it's amazing. Jumbo frets. It's just an amazing guitar. And that's enough talking. Let me show you what it sounds like. So this is the bridge. Oh, and also in this video, I will be doing a comparison between these pickups and my white Fender here on the wall. So that'll be at the end. We'll do a comparison quick, just to kind of like go through them. It'll just be bridge, middle, and neck. It won't be out of phase, just in the, you know, just because time's constraints and stuff. So at the end of the video, we'll just do a little comparison between them. Okay, so let's hear some noises, shall we? And I'll talk about what I'm running it for in a bit. So this is the bridge pickup. It's just got this really cool, and I say, because I got pickups really low, but it's really clean. And then when you stick distortion on, it gets even more cool. I'm just going to retune quickly. I think I'm slightly out of tune. Yep, G string. It's always the G string. Who, madam. But yeah, when you kick distortion on, it's even cooler. Really cool. That G string is slipping, I can feel it. Okay. I'm still settling it back in, everybody. I've just recently restrung it, and it's still settling, so just go with it for the time being. Like I say, you got a master tone on this guitar as well, which is really cool. So you can do the Rory Gallagher, those kind of things, which is really cool. Master volume. Oh, by the way, the pickups are ceramic magnets. They're not kind of like, you know, they're not uber expensive pickups, but I love them, just to say. They're just got the... But I don't think they sound anything like a normal single coil, these pickups. But they don't sound 100% like a lace sensor, I don't think. There's some kind of weird grounding thing when I put the guitar that way. It always seems to be that way in this room. Anyway, but yeah, you don't sound like your standard lace sensors, because lace sensors to me always sound like non-stratty and just a bit like, you know, like, they're a bit like this. And I never really like that. So anyway, let's move on. So got bridge and middle now together, out of phase, quacky kind of tone. Oh, I'm drop D. Forgot I was in drop D. nothing wrong with that. Okay, so moving on. So we've got the middle pickup now, which has got a real... The middle pickup on the Strat always makes me think of Mr. Jimmy. So I really should wear this for this, shouldn't I? Make sure there's no spiders in it. But it always makes me think of Red House. Like the Woodstock version. And Woodstock version I think is actually out of phase. But it reminds me of this. So yeah, that's what that sound reminds me. It's really got that kind of Hendrixy kind of vibe. That's what it feels like to me anyway. I don't know. Tell me what you think, people of a tube. What does it remind you of? Okay, so moving on to position 4 now. So neck and middle. This is that kind of Steve Ray Vaughan territory. Maybe a little bit too much gain for Stevie, but you get the idea. That's a really cool sound. I mean, it's yellow Ledbetter in a way. Actually, couldn't figure out. You link yellow Ledbetter's in position 2. A bit more position 2-y. Position 4 isn't really... Position 4 reminds me of that. And I can't think of what else it reminds me of actually. Ah! Ray Vaughan, John Mayer position, basically. Anyway, let's moving on to position 5, everybody. Net pickup on its own. It's definitely got a different kind of sound to it. I'm probably still in tune, I just want to check. B string slightly out. Ooh, what was that? Okay, so this is a net pickup now. interrupted that, didn't it? Okay, so I just realised I've still got the hat on. Ah! It was stuck to my head. Yeah, G-string slipped. Okay, so back in business, so to say. I'm not sure the intonation's in. There we go. Slightly out of tune. Okay, so like I said, I'm still resettling it. I've only had it a few days, and I'm still trying to work out the bugs, so to say. So, and I've had the strings off like 6 times, so I'm not sure the new strings are really that new anymore. But anyway, I'm making excuses because I love the guitar, and I really do love the guitar. Okay, so what can we do now? So yeah, that's the pickups, that's the guitar. I say the neck is really comfy. It's a very flat fretboard, but really, really comfy back of the neck. It's that kind of real 80s shredder kind of neck, but not quite. There's a little bit more meat there behind the neck. It's really, really nice. But yeah, it's just ace. I love it. But these pickups they don't sound exactly like, standard single coils, but, I like them for what they are. Initially, I didn't. When I first plugged it in, I was like, they sound really, I think they sound a bit thinner, but I don't know. They just sounded different, and basically that was it. And I was a bit like, I'm not sure if I like them. Anyway, what I will be doing, at some point, the master that is Nick Oswald, everybody, has started winding his own pickups, as you saw with the Oswald Telly. They're his own pickups in that guitar, and they are absolutely magnificent creatures. He sent me some Strat pickups, his replica of a 62 Strat pickup. So they'll be going in this guitar to try them out to see what I think. So I actually don't have a guitar I wanted to put different pickups in, which when this one came on, I was like, quid's in. But I do want to put these back in after I found out, because they might go into another guitar after that, depending. Yeah. But I don't know what guitar yet. Well, we'll see at the end time. But they'll be coming in this guitar for a while, because I really, really, really want to know what I like. If they're anything like his Telly pickups, I don't know. They might not actually come back out. I might go, you know what? I don't care. It sounds great. Which I'm sure they will. But I like what these pickups have. They've got a certain character to them, but it's very their own. There's something in the pickups which is really cool. I don't know what it is, but they just sound really cool. And I love having the master tone, it's really, really cool. There's 2 dials. I wish the volume control was a bit higher, like a Strat. It's a little bit further out the way, but it's not. That's nitpicking. That's like ridiculous. That's like, come on, Dave. Grow up. That's what that is. Anyway, so, like I said, that's what's going to happen. Next time you see this guitar, it will have Master Nick's 62 set single coils in it. So we'll see what, I'll see you then with this guitar then. I might actually do a video on me taking these ones out and putting those ones in, because a lot of people have asked to see that kind of thing. So I'll probably get Joe to film one evening when I change the pickups out, and that'll be part of the video. So, without further ado, oh yes, before we do the comparison, everybody, I want to let you know what's going on setup-wise today, because it's a little bit different to what we normally use, in a way. So the pedal board I'm using today is my gigging board. This is what I use for gigs. This is my kind of like, this is my sound I use for gigs. So it's a Zoom G2 1U with the expression pedal, and it's set up for more reverb. So at this point in time, I've got that much reverb, but if I kick it all the way up, I've got that much reverb. So that's what I've got there. That's the first, amp into that pedal. Then I've got a Line 6 delay modeler for raise delay, backwards, which is always fun, and especially when you combine backwards with I've got a chorus and a delay in the Zoom G2, and then I combine it with the Line 6's backwards thing. It gives me this sound. very much love. And same with tails on that are really cool. Okay, so that's what I've got there. So zoom, line 6 delay modeler. Then I've got a Marshall governor, which gives me the beef, so to say, that thing. And then I've got Tone City Golden Plexi, which I've been using for all the clean sound. That's the Tone City Golden Plexi. The wah wah is just a Vox silver top. If I boost it with my governor and lower my volume, I kind of get a pseudo WH10. Not exactly like a WH10, but it's close. And then you can also do this with the Vox. You can't do this with the Ibanez for some reason. It doesn't have the right tone. And you also can't do this with the Ibanez, which is a Jimi Hendrix trick, which I'll get to in the Jimi Hendrix series. I promise I will get to that soon. I'm going to talk. I think the next video I'm going to have to do a video on Jimi Hendrix's wah tricks because it's really, really cool. And then I've got the trusty Boss DS2 at the end of the line. So that's my gigging pedal board. It's slimmed down a bit since well, I used to have a pedal board the size of a guitar case. That was my pedal board. I had so many pedals, and over the years it's just got smaller and smaller and smaller. So as I've got lazier and lazier and lazier, and my back has got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But yeah, that's what pedals I'm using. You've heard every single one of them at some point. The loop at the beginning was through the Line 6's loop, and everything's going into a front end. Nothing's been used in the effects loop. So if the loop at the beginning sounded a bit more muddy than usual, that's why. It's because I'm technically playing over the top of the front end, not the effects loop, which makes the loop sound cleaner. So the amp we're using today is my number one amp of all time, my Marshall MG 2004 model with its matching 412 cab that's sat behind you. That's the amp I've been using today. And also, the guitar sounds are DI'd today. So you'll probably get a little bit of bleed from the room mics, but I actually have you on the line out. The guitar is mainly on the line out. So if it sounds a little bit different, that'll be why. So I just thought it'd be a bit different, and also I couldn't get to my mic to bring my mic through and mic it up, so I had to just rely on the line out. And I really like the sound of the MG's line out. It sounds really cool. Okay, so that's what I've been using. It's comparison time. So let's do a quick comparison on this guitar. We'll do bridge. We'll play the same chord progression straight through. So it'd be like a G. Let's do G, D, A, and C. Let's do the Live Forever chord progression. Check the intonation on that B string. It seems to have slipped out on me. It's fallen as well. So like I say, we're still ironing it out. I haven't been. It hasn't. I don't know how long this guitar hasn't been played for. I think I'm the only person to play it in years, but I don't care about all these issues. I will get them sorted because I love the guitar. Okay, so yeah, one progression. What I'll do is I'll go through it on the Charvel first. I'll do the bridge, middle, and neck, and then we'll switch to the Mr. White up here, and we'll do the same thing. And yeah, let's see what we can hear. So, without further ado, comparison time. So, bridge pickup to start with, middle, neck, and then switch to the Fender. I heard that, in fact, I thought Mr. White's pickups had more output, a little bit more clarity, if you will, but I don't actually know. There wasn't much in it. Let's put it that way. There wasn't much in it. But, like I say, I like these pickups for what they are, because they are different. And I like all guitars to sound differently because, you know, I like consistency to a point, but I like all my guitars to have a different character, which is cooler. So anyway, yeah, be that for what it may. These lay sensors versus Tex-Mex. But yeah. I like it a lot though. It's cool. Let's do something mad. I bet I can't pull this off. Not with a delay on, I can't. That was terrible. Let's do that again. Too fast. Try again, Dave. Try again. Let's breathe. Breathe. Slow down. That's the problem. That I'll quickly talk about is when you're on camera or you're live, sometimes everything just rockets ahead, and I think sometimes you've got to take a step back, take a breath, and breathe in. And then you can actually play properly. Let it be known throughout the lands, I decree, that every guitarist will take a breath and a calm down before playing Dosed by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, so, anyway, I don't know what that was. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video on the Charvel CX291, because I love it. I'm going to have to check the intonation and that jack socket. It's a bit dodgy. I'll have to get a new one. It's the original, and in all fairness, I inspected it. It's very corroded. The original, it's just not the best. So I'm gonna have to get a new one. But yeah, I love this guitar to absolute bits. I've always wanted a Charvel, and I finally got one, and it hasn't disappointed. It has not disappointed in any way. It's got a really cool sound acoustically as well. I don't know if I get closer. It's got this kind of like weird kind of hollow sound to it when it's unplugged, and I think that's because under the scratch plate the guitar is actually swimming pooled. This entire section is gone, so it's hollow, solid, and then hollow there, and it gives it a different tone, and it makes the guitar behave differently, I think, as well. Calm down. Okay, so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. It's weird to have a strap that plugs in there. But, yeah, I love it. Anyway, I'll see you on Wednesday for Q&A. And, yeah, have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. E chord to end.